Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's big sick.
so anyway, for anyone who's on the non-Instagram side of things, I don't even know what post.
It was this one. I saw the notification. I figured you saw it because you just posted it again. I took that one down.
Why?
I have no idea.
It's a fusion engine.
Zuck.
All right.
The
Well,
Zucker.
well, let's grab the link to YouTube and hope people pop in because that's just absolutely ridiculous. Well, Instagram feels that our fusion engines are not safe for Instagram. So, Amped Edition green fusion engines are obviously very scary. And
I'm scared of them.
yeah, dude, you just can't. You just can't. It's very, very scary.
Not good.
Not good. Okay, I don't know why everything is now just plummeting. Are we live on YouTube? Did you get a notification? Yeah, I got one on my phone. So, what is going on, guys? Weekend Warrior, welcome. What's up? Ain't been on here in a hot minute. Yeah, it's every week, which is nice, but sometimes you can't always hop on here. The nice thing is about our lives is you do get to view them later if you do miss them, which is super nice. I'm gonna try and figure out our super awesome getting banned from Instagram to do live streams because our green fusion engines are scary.
Oh yeah, this is gonna try from my phone.
Yeah,
It would work, but
I'm literally just trying to go. Just give me 1 second, guys. If you do have questions, though, I'm happy to answer them. And
or I could try to answer them while Wes troubleshoots.
yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
He's gonna get the link and put it on the story.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hello.
We're currently banned on Instagram from going live.
Are you kidding me?
Nah.
No.
What happened?
Because green fusion engines are scary.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
I took that post down, and that was. I guess we're on YouTube though. You want in?
Yeah, I want
Oh,
to get in there.
I like watching on Instagram, but I guess I'll sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, it's
YouTube
one of those
today.
things.
So that's. So are we able to at least post on Instagram?
Yes, it's just not allowing us to go live.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know.
But Lucas can go live.
He's been banned from that, and then
Oh,
you
I know,
give
and then
it
it came
time,
back,
and then
yeah.
it comes back.
Yeah.
That's really dumb. But Tom, if you want to answer this question about gift cards,
All right. How do your gift cards work? Well, basically, if you come into the shop and buy one, they can be used on our website. They can be used in store. They can be used at the trailers. It just basically has a code on the back of it that we have to verify, and then we can keep track of that. Other way is if you use your gift card, if you get a gift card in a raffle or something like that, it has a code on the back of it, an identifying number that we have with a spreadsheet, and we can apply those funds and keep track of them for you. So hopefully that answers your question. Pretty much, yeah. If you're trying to use a gift card and it's not working for you, just email us and we can make it. We can make it work for you, and just apply those credits to whatever's in your cart. Did you guys try out Pro and Hop Up a Maple Leaf bucking and a Mad Bull Red Shark nub? I've tried the Red Shark nub with the Maple Leaf, and I've tried a Maple Leaf in a Pro. And I don't know if I've tried that exact full combination, but it sounds to me like that would be a fairly decent one. You might need to shave the bucking lips a little bit though, because sometimes the Maple Leaf buckings protrude a little bit into the feed tube on the Pro-Ins, so that would be something that you would need to watch out for. Outside of that, that sounds actually like a pretty similar setup to how the Omega nub works, but the Omega nub has a wider contact patch, and it also applies more downward pressure than the Red Shark nub would. So hopefully that answered your question.
So hopefully this will get some people to this live.
Yeah.
I mean, how can I order a gift card, and is it free shipping? Let me double check. I forget. You just order them. You search gift card on the website, and you just select the one that you'd like, and pick up our gift card. As a gift card. Since we can mail this out in a letter, we will cover the shipping cost. Simply select in-store pickup. When you place your order, we will send the gift card in an envelope out for you. If the gift card is the only thing in your cart, it will only give you the in-store pickup option. No worries, we got you. So, yeah, all the information on how to go through the gift cards are on the website and in the description of the product. And yeah, it's free shipping. So
There you go.
Yeah.
My regulator works great
well, hello there.
from you guys, but I was wondering how often I need to clean / lubricate. You really don't need to. Like maintenance generally for regulator is more about like if an O-ring goes or something like that, and in ours, it's one of the more robust ones that you don't really need to maintenance. Honestly, probably ever, unless you get some debris or something in there. Regular maintenance on stuff usually is if a problem occurs. Now, if we're talking more of the specialized ones, like a Polar Star MR, a Storm Cat 5, or the mini SFRs, those ones that have a lot smaller things going on in there, then you might need to re-lube those O-rings a little bit every once in a while. But generally speaking, most times with regulators, you don't have to do regular maintenance on them unless you get debris in them.
Not on IG today. Well, Instagram feels that our green fusion engine is super scary.
We're scary.
So it doesn't allow us to do Instagram lives on Instagram right now. So here we are.
We're on YouTube.
Obviously, a fusion engine, an Airsoft, internal part is very, very scary. So here we are today.
You're terrifying. Can you stop? Can you stop?
Rawr.
This is terrifying. I'm scared. You're scaring me.
Yeah, I know. So scary, dude.
Yes, I have a Storm. Okay. What I would do is go on to Wolverine's website. They'll show you a full maintenance breakdown of how to tear it apart and everything, and exactly what you need to do to maintenance that. Like I said, there's a full breakdown, and they also have a really good informational video as well that'll walk you through everything and where you need to lube and what you need to clean, and if something's broken, what to replace. That's really so lame. Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, very lame.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, it's gonna come down to literally like, are we even gonna be able to like post BBs? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we've refrained from posting toy guns frequently.
I had a chest rig on, not last week, but the week before that, and they still didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, you gotta remember, bro. Your account?
No, on the live, I was wearing that.
It's a chest rig.
Mark
It's a
II.
piece of gear.
But that's what I mean. Like
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Chest rig's irrelevant because you have to think plate carriers and gear like that is working its way into the fashion world.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're getting technical, so they're not gonna have a problem with any of that. They're gonna have a problem with replicas with an orange tip in all the photos. And now we're at the point where a fusion engine.
Well, it's a pistol.
I'm assuming it's getting flagged. This is an assumption. This isn't confirmed because of the trigger hanging out the bottom of it. It could be argued in that sense. Still, I've never experienced it to that level. They obviously felt that wasn't allowed because I've refrained so many keywords, so many things in captions, so many posts, so many images, everything to try to avoid this, and yet it continues to happen. It is what it is. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I like the comment of what happened to freedom of speech. Well, freedom of speech is a really awesome thing that we have in like public domain stuff, and this is kind of I think what's happened a while back with YouTube. Where is it a public forum or is it a private entity that's overseeing it? And there was this whole debate that happened. I think this was the whole Facebook, Twitter, YouTube thing that Congress was dealing with, and I don't even know if it went anywhere realistically, but like, oh boy.
I don't. I mean, Eric, if you want to get, I don't think we want to touch. Oh, both are public forums.
So they're a public forum, then freedom of speech applies, which
is the ironic part.
Yeah.
About what we're just talking about. But we are an Airsoft talk thing, so I mean, we'll answer your questions, but we really shouldn't dive too deep into the political side of things. At the end of the day, it's just frustrating from a business perspective. This is our industry. This is what we do. And to kind of not be able to do that to the best of our abilities is frustrating.
Yeah.
So we do work around the best we can. That's why, honestly, it sucks because it's boring. But our backdrop right now is probably better for the long run than the ones with the guns.
my shirt is scarier than our backdrop right now.
Yeah. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So hopefully I was able to put a story up to allow to link to the YouTube or the other forms of streaming that we can do here, and hopefully it'll bring some people from the normal Instagram lives and bring them here so that the questions can flow and we can answer all your guys' questions here. So I'm just gonna check that real quick and see how that's doing, because very frustrating. I'll be mad for you like a wet cat in a full tub.
Nice. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Tube.
In a tube, full tube. No,
Tub. I was right.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it's just very
Well, here's
aggravating.
let's do this for right now. Why don't we pick a discussion topic? You and I discuss it until we start getting some more people flowing through here. That way, the people who do get to see this later can have something to talk about and stuff like that.
What if we talk about who hates each other more?
Well, I hate you and you hate me probably the most out of anybody in the entire
No,
world.
why?
so-
What if do you hate me more than I hate you?
No, I think we literally just hate each other so
Okay,
much.
cool.
That's like a supernova.
All right,
And it's
dope.
like we're just two black holes of hate that just collide.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What events do we have this weekend?
We have MSW this weekend. We have
Wow.
MSW Bulge.
The bulge.
We're gonna be doing that. Talk about the various impression kits we do. That would be an interesting one. Hey,
Hi,
Moose, what's up? Well, why don't you start with the Rush 4 stuff?
Oh, I do impression kits.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you
No.
only have like a room filled with
No.
Rush 4
We don't.
stuff.
You can't say that, bro. No, yeah,
Room.
no. So the impressions kits are cool. So yeah, if the kits we do and the ones we would like to do if money and availability wasn't a thing. So yeah, I do a modern FSB anywhere from 2012 to 2016, and then the like ultra modern are kind of my two mains, I guess you'd say. There's the recce side of things, and then there's the direct action side of things. I like the direct action a lot. I think direct action is super fun, super exciting, and the recce stuff is really, really cool. It's also lightweight. That's kind of the biggest benefit for me. So leafy suits, and like I want to get the SVU up. I think the SVU would be really cool to have built.
The SVU is going to be really cool.
But I'm trying to think of like something
HPA
I'd
it.
want to do. Something I'd want to do. I'd have to think about it. So I'm gonna let Tom chat. He doesn't.
I don't really do the impression kit
Yeah, I was
stuff
gonna
because,
say.
so I got into the impression kit stuff with them because we were going on MSW at Guardian Center, and I just want to have the right kit because MSW is very big about impression kit and everything. It's part of the culture of those games. It's part of the rules. So I got into it because of that, and I much prefer just using kit that works well for me. The big piece of kit that I love out of doing the Russian stuff was the Leafy suit. The Leafy suit is absolutely one of the best pieces of kit ever, especially for airsoft. Just because you get into different climates and stuff, you can throw layers on underneath there or take layers off underneath that, and you're still within camo and it's still breathable. It's really nice. So for me, it's not really more about like I don't really do the impersonation stuff. If I'm doing a character for an event, I'm doing like a character, not really based off of a military person per se. But I do really like the Russian kit that we do. But I also don't run a full Russian kit. Like I run a PTS Flux helmet, which is totally not kosher at all. And
No.
you know, I'm wearing like a Haley multicam backpack to run an air tank on my Mark II with my Leafy suit because that's what's working right now because there isn't really a kosher backpack for an FSB recon team or recce team, which is kind of what it was based off of. There is, but there's not one that's really going to work for what I'm trying to do and in the time frame that I had. So for me, I mean, I do more like what would I try and use? What is a good sustainment rig? What is a good sustainment setup? And what is a good universal setup that I can grab and go to any of the games we go to? That's kind of more my mindset when I approach kit because that's what I'm running.
Form over function only. Sorry.
Which is fine for you. I mean, honestly, a lot of the Russian stuff actually has a lot of function.
No, it does.
The
I'm joking.
The Mark II is crazy good. It's such a well-designed chest rig. It fits so many different roles. Literally the only thing I had to add to it outside the backpack setup was just some pistol pouches because I just wanted to have some pistol pouches.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's one of the best chest rigs ever. It's like on the level of a Mayflower, I would say.
All right, we got some questions though, which is good.
Yay!
Let's talk about mag pouches, soft versus Kydex. I mean, HSGI is kind of a weird hybrid, I would say, because they have the plastic on the sides.
Yeah,
I like HSGI. I'm not a fan of Kydex mag pouches personally.
Yeah, so with me, I have to agree with him. Kydex is a little bit too limiting, I would say, especially with Airsoft. If you are doing real steel stuff, you're probably running the same magazine no matter what. Airsoft, there's so many different companies that make so many different styles of magazines, so many different like openings for their brand of gun and everything. You know, you can have a Ares mag not fit in a Kydex holster, but an Elite Force will, or you know, you might not be able to find a metal Stanag style Airsoft magazine that easily that's going to fit that Kydex holster. I think that's very limiting. Whereas he's talking about with HSGI is the good hybrid between a full cloth one and getting into Kydex that has that universal fit and it works very well for a lot of different things. I do think cloth is good if it has a closed top to it.
Well, that's why I like HSGI. HSGI is one of those things where you don't have the noise from a closed top pouch. You have the universal aspect of a cloth pouch, and you have none of the drawbacks of it. They're held on with malice clips. They're super, super strong. They'll never fall off, and they're adjustable. They're fast. Re-indexing is super easy.
Yep.
There's really, I don't want to say there's no better pouch on the market.
The only thing I would say that's close to it is S-Tac has a different design.
Kiwis are dope.
Kiwis are good, but also Haley's universal mag carrier is also, it's kind of very S-Tac like, but it works in the same way that a HSGI does. That's very universal and it works very well, and it holds, but it still has that nylon feel to it. So it works with a lot of different things.
And I definitely like Blue Force gear as well. I think Blue Force gear pouches are super cool. Just re-indexing is miserable.
Yeah,
that's the only downside, in my opinion.
Longevity. If you're doing a lot of mag changes with your Blue Force gear, that elastic, inevitably all elastic over time just loses its elasticity. And over time, I would say Blue Force gear kind of degrades, and you would have to get a different pouch. But I do like that lay flat.
I haven't ever experienced.
I've seen it from dudes who like
or Blue Force gear.
I've seen dudes have it happen over like a 4-year period where they were running it like at least every other weekend, and that's like the only time it starts to degrade. And at that point, you got a lot of freaking use out of it.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one. By the way, the 6mm Pro Shop FAL uses the JG G3 hop up. Oh, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely good to know. Do you know what stock is compatible with the SEMA SMG9/MP7 M16 stock? I'm a little confused on
Most of the time with an SM, like an SM or an MP9 or a MP7, they're gonna have to use their proprietary PDW style stock, which is either
That's this thing. No, it's their MP5.
Oh, that's just an MP5, yeah.
SEMA's amazing SMG9.
Yeah, the
This thing would probably just take
any MP5 stock.
I mean, I would definitely check the forums about that because
Yeah, I mean,
it depends on how that stock attaches.
From what I've seen, if it's based off the Platinum series, it's a SEMA Platinum. So if it's based off of the other Platinum series that we've had in the shop that we do HPA installs with, it probably is going to use the exact same stocks and adapters as those ones. So you could probably swap on a full MP5A4 stock if you wanted onto that. Just pop that back pin out.
You're not putting an M16 stock on here.
Well, you could probably not an M16, but go to that buffer tube one that's there, like the M4 stock. Yeah, there might be an adapter for a buffer tube that you could put an M16 stock on, but at that point, I would just tell you get an A4 style, like the MP5A4 style. Pop that pin out, and you basically have the MP5's version of an M16 full stock style. That's what I would tell you to do. That'd be the easiest thing if you want a full stock.
Yeah, I agree. I've been rocking a 2008 USCM loadout for the last 2 decades. Oh, well. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I have an old trigger board of a Wolverine Inferno. I could spam it a little bit, but the new trigger board of Wolverines that can be attached by FCU, you can't. Without the FCU, is there a way to fix this? Is there a way?
Let me reread that.
Yeah, please reread.
I could spam it a little bit, but the new trigger board of Wolverine that can be attached by FCU can't without the FCU. Is there a way to fix it? I'm assuming you're talking about the Spartan board that has the built-in FCU as like the newer trigger board. They did come out with a newer trigger board for the MTWs that uses optical sensors that you need, the FCU to make work. But there's only one trigger board that they make that doesn't technically come with an FCU because the trigger board is the FCU, which would be the Spartan board. They use the same micro switch in that, and it is programmable through the trigger, but the sensitivity of that micro switch is not going to be programmable. It's only going to be on and off. And the micro switch that they use does have a little bit of a dead zone in it, but there's also kind of dead zone of a reset area too. So you kind of got to find that spot that you can hit the on and off area quickly, and you can kind of tune that with an aftermarket speed trigger or a max trigger to kind of take up that slack to help with that. That would be the main way of tuning something that doesn't have like optical sensors. Optical sensors are going to be able to tune your trigger sensitivity. Anything that doesn't really have an optical sensor is going to rely on the sensitivity of the micro switch for the trigger when it comes to HPA. Which is why a lot of people like the upgrade of the Gorilla trigger board because the micro switch is actually a little bit more sensitive. Same with the Fusion engine. The micro switch that's used in the Fusion engine is different than the regular FCU the trigger board in a Jack or a Wolverine Inferno. They use a different micro switch, and it is a little bit more sensitive just because of the design.
Yeah, what he said.
Sorry.
No, that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
Dude. That's what you're here for. Just got my Polarstar F2 engine, and it's only shooting about every other shot. Any ideas for what can be going wrong? I've tried like everything I can find online.
So is it only shooting every other shot outside of the gun? If it's shooting only every other shot when it's not in the gun, in the lower receiver and everything put together, then that sounds like possibly an electrical issue or a settings issue. You drop that.
Yeah, I'm aware.
um,
Don't yell at me.
you might have a low battery too. So what I would do first, just troubleshooting process, take the F2 out completely of the gearbox, of the gun itself, have it hooked up to air, have it hooked up to your electronics, have it hooked up to all that, and just press with your finger the trigger board button and see what it does. If it's operating normally, like it's firing every time, then okay, that's cycling properly. Now let's put it in the gearbox. Is it now not cycling properly? Okay, what do we look at then? Wire issue, possibly. You maybe pinched a wire when you were installing it, or your trigger might not be lining up properly with your trigger board. And so that trigger board might need shimmed up or away from the gearbox itself sometimes, or your trigger might need adjusted to hit the button every time, because sometimes you might be pulling the trigger straight back, or you might be pushing and pulling, or you might be pulling and pulling left or right, which is causing the trigger to go from here to here to here, and that button's here. So you're either on or you're off slightly, or you might be off slightly. And that can be something that a shim that we actually now sell on the website can adjust for. That's one big thing in the gearbox for tuning. Now, if it's working when it's in the gearbox, then you go and put it in the gun, right? You put it in the gun, you put everything of the lower together, you test it again. Did something happen in the lower receivers, that trigger not being caught up on the metal of the lower receiver? Did something shift when you tighten down the buffer tube screw or the grip screws? That could also cause problems. Did a wire get pinched when you put the wires through the buffer tube? Another problem to look at. Are you letting the battery dangle while you're trying to test, and that it's causing a disconnect? If all of that is now working properly, then you move into putting the upper on. And then we took a look at, are there now problems with nozzle alignment? Are there now problems with the bucking interfacing with the nozzle? Are there problems with the bucking being too tight? Is there other problems? This is what we do daily. When we have problems, we start from simple, eliminate possibilities of problem there, work your way up to adding more things on and isolating where the problem could be, and then go from there. And then send me a video, and maybe we can work it out through email too.
Sales@ampedersoft.com.
So yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's not the email?
That's the email. Do that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Who's your battle buddy and why? Not this guy.
Not him. Him and I purposely go on opposite teams.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
No, sometimes Tom's my favorite.
Oh, if it's shield stuff?
Yeah, Tom's my favorite when it comes to being behind the shield.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. There's no question about that.
The shield is glorious carnage.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I have yet to run with anyone behind the shield who runs it better.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've never gotten a chance to do it with Ryan, but I think Tom is just so verbal and vocal. That's the biggest benefit when it comes to running the shield.
Over communicate.
Yeah, I think everyone here, like, there's no one I dislike playing with. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard for me to sit here and say, yes, this one person is my like absolute like.
Yeah, I mean, even when we were moving through the field the other day, and I got to play with a lot of different people in a close quarter environment, we all kind of move really well individually, because we all have been playing for a while. Now there's newer people at the company that are just getting an Airsoft that never were in Airsoft now. But most of the talking about people who go and play a lot at the company or go to a lot of the events with us that I get to run with, most people at the company that we run with all really know what they're doing, or they know what they're doing to a point where you can pick up like, oh, this guy's going to go and play like this. I'll adjust to do this to support him, and vice versa. Whereas, like, especially in an urban setting, a lot of times we all kind of have that background of CQB that we can pick up on and just move, and like, oh, this guy has this doorway and this angle, I will take the other one. Yeah. And we kind of all get that. I would say outdoor play, woods ball might be a little different, where there's not a lot of people who play woods ball as much and prefer an urban setting. Right. So like, but at the same time, then that's just how do we flank and how do we move as a group? And that's more not individual. That's more like a group of like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 people.
Right.
We normally go out in groups of 2 sometimes, but a lot of times we try and go out as a group of like 4 or 5, depending on what event we're at.
Right. So I wouldn't say that there's anyone I dislike playing with.
Yeah, it's hard because, like I said, you can pick up on everybody's style and just adapt, and it's almost better that you do because then you both play better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think obviously, like, how do I say it? I mean, like, you have people who play to their strengths. So
Yeah.
like if I'm outside, Ryan is one of our best, like, recce, like woods ball players.
Yeah.
And so if I had to know that I'm outside, then well,
Yeah.
go outside.
Yeah.
But I can play with anyone outside or inside. So
Yeah.
it's
Or like you take somebody like Cole, who wants to run. He wants to go at the people. And it's like, okay, I know that's what you want to do. So you're going to beeline and I'm going to take a flanking route to support.
yeah, I mean,
And
you
that's
think
just
of it
knowing
that
who
way.
you're playing
Yeah.
with.
Absolutely. I'm as wider than the shield, so I'm probably be pretty bad at it. Surprisingly, it's not about like
It's about height.
it's well, no, I'm saying like it's about that verbal communication because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, yes, if you are going to expose part of yourself, you're going to get shot. I mean, that's just how the shield works.
Yeah.
But if you're a very vocal and very direct like operator of the guy who's carrying the shield, you can position that shield in different areas to be very, very effective. And it doesn't really matter about size or anything like that. Something about running. Yeah, you run a lot.
Yeah, you run a lot, but you don't like run out of place. And I know that, so I'm gonna adapt to how you play.
Yeah, and different facilities and different events like play to different strengths.
The shield played so well at that
In New York. Yep.
Because of how the layout was.
Correct.
But if we
took it somewhere else,
if we go to Tolcon and we show up with a shield and we're in the middle of the woods, we're gonna get shot.
You're silly to bring a shield into the woods.
Yeah.
But that's where the playstyle shifts. And that's the thing. That's why people have different kits. They have different guns. I mean, people are always like, I bring a long gun outside and a short gun inside. I mean, that's
Well, that was kind of a debate I had.
I don't think it matters, but
No, I had that debate with, I think I was talking to Justin.
Tungsten.
I think I was talking to Tungsten about MSW, and he was like, I think we were talking about like, well, why would you not just bring a short gun, or why would you not just bring a long gun? Like, you're playing in the woods, you probably want a DMR, right? And I was like, yes and no, because if you're playing airsoft and you're in heavy brush, your BBs probably aren't going to make it all the way through to make that one-time shot you're trying to do with a DMR. Versus if you're just doing a rifleman, you're just spamming rounds from a further distance. Same with the SMG. But you also got to think about mobility to get into position. That longer gun's going to be a pain in the dick versus a smaller gun, which is also why at Guardian Center I ran a 74U and not my VSS because it was more maneuverable. Versus this weekend I'm running the VSS because the terrain is much better set up for running a DMR role than in my opinion a CQB role.
What would you say? That's a good question. What would you say your play style is like? Are you aggressive or more of a defensive player? I have noticed myself being very it's the platform. It's the weapon platform I'm running, which determines my play style. It's a weird way to say it.
Yeah.
But I notice I can use Battlefront, for example. When I went with my 105, very direct action style rifle, I was aggressive as can be and pushed and tried to like quickly flank and move and blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as I had the SVU,
you and I were just laying down.
it was very calm. It was very very slow. It was weight, and then there was Ben Franklin Range where I ran the PKP, and it was a very middle of the road where that weapon style needed to be played in a defensive and aggressive play style to play to its strengths. If I was only aggressive with a PKP, I'd one, wear myself down into the ground, and two, it would I couldn't clear, I'd get myself in troubles with buildings and putting myself in positions where I can't shoot.
And then a PKP would go down probably because you're rushing so far forward, and now an MMG is now down when it could be doing a lot more effective work by just staying with line or holding back line and holding back everybody else.
So I think the weapon platform, if you're changing it, that you kind of need to adjust to that. But if you're running the same gun every time, I'd probably say I'm more aggressive than defensive.
I'm a little weird. I mean, obviously I'm a little weird. But I take his route on whatever gun I'm running kind of determines how I'm going to run, but I do the general same type of, I get low and I try and get around people more than heading right at them. Now, if I'm running my GBLS that I know has a lower round count than like my SCAR, just because that's how the gun is made, I'm going to run at people because I know I need to get closer to confirm shots and try and take people out. I also do a lot more suppressive fire when I am trying to move with the GBLS, which is weird because it has less rounds, but I'm actually playing very differently than what's more natural to me because I'm throwing rounds to suppress before I move to be aggressive and go after people. I either do probably one of two things. I either go right at people and just try and keep their heads down as long as I freaking can and distract and get them on their sides, or I just get low and I try and go real fast at people from the sides. Or if I'm running a DMR, I mean, even like you were saying at Ben Franklin Range, I was running the VSS, and I noticed I was just kind of like hanging back a lot more than I normally would because I was running a DMR role.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how it'd be. Oh, there it is. I'm just not going to spin it anymore.
You got an IGL. You can just spin that.
No, I'm good. I ain't spinning anything. I don't want to drop it. There's the follow-up on that F2.
Ah, let me see.
Can I display these in chat? I think I can. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, cool. So when somebody comments next, it'll actually show up. Oh, cool.
Neat. So you guys can see the comments. I didn't know that was a feature.
So
Sick.
Sorry, worded my F2 problem poorly. The engine fires every pull of the trigger. Good. The issue is when I put in a mag, it only feeds one out of one out of 2 to 4-ish shots. I've tried different barrels, buckings, nubs, and magazines. So if we're now talking about a feeding issue caused from like BBs, you've eliminated a lot of the steps that I just talked about because cool, it's not a problem with the engine. That's very good. What it now sounds like is a
I'm just clicking on things.
What is this?
You're good.
Restream live from Restream. Anyways, you now eliminated pretty much the engine being the problem. As far as electronics and function go, it could still be a nozzle alignment issue because if your nozzle is aligned any different direction, those BBs could be coming up in and hitting basically a misaligned nozzle and getting hit improperly and not firing. And it might take a few shots for it to pretty much force its way through the bucking and then fire, which could be a problem. It could also be could just be a matter of it might be your magazine. It might be the tension of the magazine. It might be your nozzle dwell time. I would play around with your DN setting and try and increase it to see if you can get more shots out. And if that's the case, then you might be looking at, your bucking lips might be protruding a little bit too much. There's some type of resistance that the BBs have to overcome to get into the proper seated area for it to then fire properly, which is also why maybe a few shots of it cycling causes some vibration to get the BB into the right spot for it to fire then. So what I would say is look at your nozzle alignment first. See if it's good. If it's not, adjust it. That would be the first step. The second step I would say is take a look at your bucking through your feed tube where your magazine would be inserted and see if your lips are a little bit protruding into the feed tube, and then you're going to see, oh, that's causing resistance. Take that away and it's probably going to feed a lot better.
Yep.
And if your nozzle alignment is good, then adjust your DN setting up higher and higher until you start to notice some higher or some more consistent shots. Might just be a mag issue, and you can adjust for that with the DN setting, which is why the F2 is honestly great, because dual solenoids allow you to adjust your DN independent of your poppet. So that's what I would start with. And again, if you're still having some issues with that, send me some videos, send me some photos through the sales@ampedairsoft.com email, and maybe we can try and help you out with that through the tech channels.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes with these, once you do attempt all of these different, trial and errors, sending the videos and photos really do help.
Yeah, because I could kind of just look at it and go, that right there, that's it.
Yeah. So, but give it a shot, see what goes on. If you have any questions, please just drop them.
Yeah.
Right here in the comments. Team-based aggressive. I won't lone wolf rush, but I'll be the first in the door with the team. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, honestly, that's a very logical perspective. I mean, trying to bust through a door with an unknown amount of things behind said door by yourself is either going to A, work out somehow miraculously, or B, you're going to get shot, and then that's it.
Yep.
And then no one's going to know that there's a threat in there because you're dead and you're in the room. So having, say, your point and then like your follow-ups is definitely a very logical way to approach that. And that does play in the sense of ambushes too, and playing defensively and slowly having multiple sets of eyes. And you can't really I mean, you can set up an ambush by yourself, but it's not going to be as effective if you had 4 dudes, 3 dudes with you, and you're able to set up different, like, different, what is it, VU, like all that stuff.
Yeah, different forms, different formations and setup. And I think for me, if it's an open play, I don't care about team anything. If I don't run with the guys from the shop, because I really don't run with a lot of people, I'll probably just go off and go, okay, the main force is kind of attacking this way. I'm going to go the side way and start attacking from that side. And if I die, I'll just go back to spawn. I don't care. If we're at an event, I play very, very team-based and coordinate, because it works a lot better, because I also am there with people that I know and I can coordinate with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously team-based tactics are going to be a little bit more difficult in the sense of everyone having the same understanding. But when you run with some people who know how to communicate, know how to move, call out, etc., it's a whole different game. I think it really is.
I think MSW Guardian Center. So we were in a platoon. We were in a squad of that platoon with a mixed group of people. Was 5 of us were there together, and I think there was about 4 to 3 more guys that were with us that we didn't know. And our squad lead introduced himself, telling us where we're going, what we're doing, all that stuff. But we all inevitably just gravitated back to the core 5 of us, because we knew each other and we knew these guys are with us, but we don't know how they work. And they didn't seem like they were all together. They were kind of all individuals. And so they kind of just ran with what we were doing to just kind of just make it work. But there was a very big distinct, we're together, we know what we're doing, we're communicating well. And when we can, we work with these guys to do a thing, but it's much more efficient and faster to work with the people we know.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Aaron and I have a handler/attack dog, poorly trained relationship. I would say that's very accurate.
Yeah.
Isn't relationship one word?
It's a relationship.
Like a boat?
Like a boat.
Mer, mer.
They ride and they rock the boat a lot.
If the boats are rocking,
Knock harder.
what, bro? That is not the same.
Knock harder.
Oh my God.
I think it's the nozzle. When I look down the barrel with a light, hose and battery disconnected, it looks to be slightly up and to the right. Yes, that would be definitely nozzle alignment issue. Correct that, and you're probably going to see a lot better consistency. If you're still having some of those missed shots, then I would adjust your DN. And if you're still having some of those missed shots, I would look at your bucking lips and see if those need either trimmed down or just adjusted in some way. If you are trimming them down, please also try and kind of widen the inner part a little bit too, because when you sand them down, you create this kind of almost a wall instead of this nice gentle ramp that the lips have. Because when you cut them down, you make this like cut on them, and then you need to reform that ramp so the BB flows through properly.
Excuse me. Well, boys, have to head back to work. Be safe and have a great day. You too, man. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it as always. Eric says he's hungry, and I want to let him off the leash. Dude, let him off. Let him eat.
Yeah.
Let her eat, baby. Let her eat. So I heard y'all got banned off Insta Live.
Yeah,
Yep. Always,
Green Fusion Engine.
Scariest engine.
Scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
That's why I wore a green amp shirt on the live.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll be
banned from YouTube too.
No, we'll be posting a picture of an Airsoft BB and it'll be like, ooh, you can't do that.
Scary.
Ooh, a floating shopping list. You don't even know that reference.
SpongeBob, I think. Probably.
Is it though?
I don't know.
It is. It's a lucky guess though.
Do you
remember what episode?
No, I do not.
Okay, good, because I do. It's a great episode. I will give you $1 million for that hat.
Oh, the drinking hat?
Because he was number one. Yeah. No, it was it was the soda drinking hat.
Yeah.
And then the end it was the let's give Mr. Krabs a big round of or a big hand, and as he pulls the string and it claps.
Yeah.
And then that's when I'll offer you $1 billion, and then Mr. Krabs, yeah, it's the episode. Yeah,
Krabs is trying to get the drinking hat.
Yeah. Obviously, a man of culture.
I knew what it was. I just want to see if you did.
I wanted to see if I did. Yeah. You might be able to tell the people about HPA and tuning, but
I'm not cultured at all.
I'm
not
can
cultured
reference SpongeBob.
No,
I love SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is great.
Such a good show.
Danny Phantom is better.
Oh, I wouldn't say better, but Danny Phantom is very, very good. Can you sing the whole theme song right now?
Probably.
Do it then. Do it. Who's always go? Oh, well, that's her. Who all is going to the Gun Gamers event in what?
Malston. You mean in Wisconsin? We're gonna go with Wisconsin because that's where it's at. Action Sports Wisconsin. So Eric's gonna be lead on that trip. Still putting together the rest of the team.
Wisconsin. But
that is going to be a really cool event. From what I've been seeing with the Gun Gamers events, because this is still their first full year doing it. Their first game was in 2022, but this is their first full year doing their events. Every event I've gone to, they've gotten more organized and more like aware of how to engage their customers. They're very good at taking feedback, and they're very good at coordinating. So most of their events, I would say, is probably just going to be a good event, just right off the bat. There's no personal bias in there at all. But what?
Nothing.
I just like Eric.
I do too. He plays scary music.
It's not scary music. It's good music.
Yeah, you're right. It's not scary at all.
It's not scary music.
They don't yell at you.
No, they don't yell. They scream.
I had a discussion with Ryan today because he was putting on like heavy metal music, and while we were out receiving BLS, and heavy metal music is like that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like it's like that. And then he makes fun of me every time I put on like Suicide Boys because he's like and I'm like, bro, that's it. This could piss a lot of people off, but it's the same thing. It's
not
just different.
It is. It's distinctly different though, because I
Nah,
like Suicide Boys without German.
dude. I think if we're getting to the comprehensible words.
Oh, German is way easier to understand than most metal music. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like
I'm not specifically calling out any heavy metal artist.
Yeah.
I'm just simply stating the fact.
Where's Jake?
I
want Jake to be in this
that
live.
would be really
I'm
funny.
gonna
I'd
message-
love to ask him. But I find it ironic that it's the making fun of you can't understand some of the words, but then at the same time, it's hard to understand that as well.
Oh, it's definitely they're both
that's my point.
definitely hard to understand. But I actually think mumble rap, because Germ's not mumble rap. Germ has like this different style that's not really mumble rap, but mumble rap, like actual mumble rap, is very similar to, in my opinion, metal singers, grunge style metal singers, which is like it's very hard to understand.
See, you're going off on a tangent.
I am, but we're
I'm
talking about both music.
I know, but I'm just saying we're discussing two things that are directly.
Oh, you're talking about metal music.
Let's see.
and
People
yes, it can
Yes.
vary heavily. Suicide Boys is hood metal, and it's a masterpiece.
I mean,
That's not a bad way of describing it, actually.
no, I just
Or it's like hood punk too. Like I don't even know.
I don't know genres, dude.
I don't know either.
I really don't.
They're made up.
Cer-
Certified hood classic.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a certified hood classic.
I don't know.
Rapaholics mixtape.
I don't know, because there's
Real
definitely
trap shit.
times where I'm like listening to metal. I'm like, I really like this song a lot. I have no idea what they're saying.
Yes.
I have no idea what they're saying. I'm going to Spotify. I'm like, wow, the lyrics are really good. Wow, now I can kind of understand 80% of what he's saying by reading them.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand it by myself.
Yeah, so my whole point of saying that was because of I'm just making fun of Ryan.
Oh, I was trying to have a discussion, but okay.
No, it's a good discussion.
Yeah.
But no, I don't you but you see my point. Yeah, I mean, but you see my point.
Oh,
You see what I'm
100%.
saying?
No, 100%.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept. But yeah, Jake, if Jake was in here,
I really want Jake to be in here
yeah, that
for
would have been
this.
dope.
That would have been a very, very cool discussion.
Maybe not.
But I just like when Jake starts to talk about his voice as an instrument.
It's
Because
very
he gets
cool.
super into it, and he is very, very like well educated on music theory. And
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's just really cool listening to him describe why he inflects at a certain point or all these. It's very, very cool to talk with him about.
Absolutely.
Now we're on music live with Andy.
Music theory.
Music
We
theory
started
live
with
there.
politics, then airsoft, and now music theory.
Now we're on music theory.
Where's
Somebody mentioned cars.
where's Sweet Rick? He
I
has
was gonna say this is
political
this
and
is like encompassing Eric. I'll leave now.
yeah, you should have never came
Just
on.
like I'm gonna pop out. I'll pop back in when there's an airsoft question.
Yeah, we'll just have to do like the WrestleMania where you tap in.
We need a rotating we need a button. Okay, Terry tap in. Okay, Eric tap in. Ryan tap in.
I'm out, guys. Thanks for the answers. Absolutely. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully, we'll be back on Instagram at some point.
If not, just automatically go to YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's pretty consistent.
YouTube has been pretty chill about us, which is nice, especially with how they used to be, but it's been pretty nice. That's a nice question.
Well, yeah, we did just get them in.
They literally got received today.
Yeah, he saw that.
Oh.
Just saw y'all restock today.
I didn't read that part.
Yeah.
I just saw BLS.
It's they come in such large quantities that sometimes they get held up, and sometimes the quantities are like our inventory depletes faster than other times.
Yeah.
So we have reorder points essentially. So if that stock level depletes very fast, well then another order will happen sooner.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
We do a lot of long-term planning when it comes to purchasing now.
And they take forever to get over here.
Yeah, that's the other thing with specifically with BLS and some other bigger bulk shipments. When we have to deal with shipping, like an actual ship, freighting it over from Taiwan or China, that adds weeks onto a turnaround time for an order. On top of the fact that it's a giant order. It's a giant order. Huge. That it
I'm not responding to
that. then it becomes just even more of a long process because they have to fulfill that giant order. And like he's saying, with reorder points, we adapt those a lot as our demand changes too, to try and keep up with the demand. But over time, it's a growing process, just trying to deal with that, because we also have to adapt new policies as we grow as a company too, to just keep everything organized and keep everything flowing, get you guys what you need, and try and be there for you in the best way we can.
So what I would suggest is, if you are looking to order, like you said, 20,000 G&G BBs, if we don't have what you're looking for, shoot us an email, because we know when we're planning on doing it, and we know if we have ordered it, like a ETA. And then all you have to do is shoot us an email and ask, hey, when are you getting XYZ?
Yeah.
And then we can give you a time frame. That way you can choose whether, okay, I'm going to wait, or, oh, I'm just going to buy the G&G BBs, because now you're in this scenario where it's like, well, shoot, I could have, got BLS, but you didn't know. And so I would just recommend sending an email and asking, is the best suggestion that I have, because we'll tell you. There's no, we're not gonna be like, oh, well.
Yeah, no, especially
That's
if you're trying to order that big a quantity too, then we can also adjust our ordering to accommodate for you too. We do that actually sometimes with a lot of our wholesalers, because they're fields that wholesale from us, and they just are like, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I need to buy, or this is what I'm looking for, when are you guys going to order, please? And then we adjust. And we're like, okay, so this much of our order is just immediately going to go to this person. So emailing ahead of time definitely helps out a lot, especially with those giant orders.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we are down to our last 2 minutes of the live stream. We are going to bulk our bulge this weekend. Pre-orders actually are done
today.
Well, it's actually tomorrow.
Oh, we started changing that moving forward.
I made a boo-boo, but it's 3 tomorrow.
3 tomorrow.
So,
which is fine. We're leaving Friday morning, so that's fine.
Yeah. So if you guys are looking to get any stuff last minute for bulk our balls, make sure that you guys put those in. And then we'll have another event before after the next live stream. So get those pre-orders in. That'll be really cool. We're
Hopefully
excited.
We see you guys there. Hopefully you guys can make it up the mountain and stay on the mountain.
Do the mountains. Climb the mountains.
Dude, the mountain takes no prisoners.
Correct. It just kills you
it's just
on the spot.
The mountain. I have been talking to Corey about this for like the last month of like, am I doing enough PT for this damn mountain?
Drink water. Bring your water.
Bring water.
No iced tea. No Mountain Dews.
No rains for energy the entire weekend.
What?
Dude, there was a guy who brought just like 6 rains for liquid intake.
Oh, well, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for stopping into the live. We appreciate you for asking all your questions. Bring water. Stay hydrated. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And we will catch you guys next week, 1:00 on Wednesday for the Lunchtime Live. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.